Well, thank you so much for joining me at the Children's Science Museum, Gary.
Oh, hey, dinos.
I know, right? It's apropos. As you can see, actually, no, Gary, get away from the coin spinner. The funnel thing where the coin.
This is the most fun you can have for a penny.
I know, right? No, you can't get a crushed penny either.
Oh, excuse me.
No, that wasn't you. That was one of the exhibits. It's fine. No, we're over by the gigantic spirograph. You know, where they have the canvas or the butcher paper, and there is the marker on a pendulum.
Yeah.
So I was talking to some of the fungineers here about some of this, and there are some spooky happenings, and they've been getting lists of names drawn out. So there is some kind of, in a wanted-like fashion, there is some kind of force at work here. So
that is scary, but I mean, it, like everything at the Science Museum, it's God's will.
Exactly. There is Jesus on a raptor over there. So we're going to give this a spin here.
Okay. Boy, if I had to try to find a spirograph sound effect, I would have a really hard time.
I know. We're lucky that we're right here. I'm going to pull out my phone and record it so we can put it in later.
Okay.
Let's see here. Let's pick up the paper and look at this thing. We're going to be doing Deadly Towers.
Fuck.
Holy shit, he ate his shirt.
My name is Gary Butterfield.
My name's Cole Ross.
And you're listening to Abject Suffering, the show that you get with the app or by tribute for listening to Watch Out for Fireballs.
Yes, and this week we are talking about Deadly Towers for the NES. Who suggested this, Gary?
The game, not the towers.
Yes.
This is suggested by Justin Nungiven, which I think means he did not give his last name.
Yes, he did not give his last name.
It parses as just one word. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I know.
Nungiven.
It's vaguely Nordic, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Nungivenson.
Yeah, I was going to have to try to pronounce something.
Oh man, that's
so
never
Justin
good.
Suggested this. Yeah, don't.
Why are you doing this to us?
Yeah, don't make me pronounce things. Also, don't fucking make me play Deadly Towers.
Holy shit, man! What like not cool.
Yeah. Ugh.
Like the best thing about it is that it was potentially going to be called Hell's Bells, son.
Yeah, which would be pretty cool. In the alternate world in which you play Hell's Bells, your goal is to get as many dirty deeds done for a low cost as possible.
And what tool do you use for that?
TNT.
Yeah, there we go.
That's it. Yeah, there we go.
But don't stand on top of the towers because you might be
knocking on heaven's door.
I was going for Thunderstruck, but I'll allow it.
Your AC/DC foo was a little bit stronger than mine.
A little bit.
I had a mom's boyfriend. When you have a background like me, you only have like one stepdad, or actually, let's be honest, several stepdads, one regular dad, but then this entire rogues gallery of mom's boyfriends throughout the year. And I had one who used to clean the house every Sunday and start at like 6 a.m. and do it while blasting AC/DC's greatest hits exclusively. So I would be like up all night because it was Saturday night and I'd playing video games or going out with my friends and drinking coffee and stuff. And he would wake me up at 7 blasting AC/DC's greatest hits.
Yeah.
So all of them, Dirty Deeds, Big Balls, I Want to Rock and Roll All Night, Honk on Bobo. Like every single song by AC/DC was rocked, and then I was trying to sleep through it. It was very difficult.
Yeah. No.
Negative associations of those guys.
Yeah, I always, whenever I wake up, I put on Let There Be Rock, and that gets me through my entire morning routine.
Yeah. Do you really?
No, I don't.
What I do, this is a true thing. I will if I'm in a hurry, I always listen to music in the shower. I hook my iPod up to the radio, and I will blast music. And if I'm in a hurry, I will pick a long song, and then finish my shower by the end of it.
Right.
And a really well-linked song that really gets you pumped to do that is 2112 by Rush.
That is a great song.
It is a wonderful
Are you doing
song.
the medley? Because like the full one is like 45 minutes.
No, maybe not that song. I'm doing what am I thinking then? I'm doing are the priests.
Yeah, that's the second movement. I believe
I'm doing the second movement. Yeah.
Holy fuck. Oh God. I just had a moment of blinding insight.
What is that?
just a shocking revelation that I was able to...
What?
No, it's fine. I was just able to identify the particular movement of Rush by one bar.
Yeah. You just referred to a Rush song as a movement.
It's a kind of movement. I had a lot.
An unsuccessful Facebook post that I thought was funny about the priest of the Temple of Syrinx casting cure light wounds on the Knights of Sidonia. Nobody got
that. Nobody is so good.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Like I like this whole like constructed Dungeons and Dragons world from these nerd rock bands.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm glad we were able to immortalize that.
I was happy too. I've been waiting a year and a half for a way to bring that up during one of the shows.
That is a good metric. I started listening to podcasts in the shower. I've got like a little Bluetooth boombox thing here that's really neat. It's Logitech if you're looking it up. And buying it on the Amazon link. But before that, my metric would be I would start singing a song, and I would try to be done by like another song down in the album. Yeah,
that's a good way to do it. This on this podcast we're talking about deadly showers.
Yeah.
A game that Nintendo refused the Nintendo Seal of Quality for.
Oh, I didn't know that history.
Only because of calling it Hell's Bells.
Yeah.
So the Nintendo was like, we're not going to approve this game as Hell's Bells. If you change the title, though, we're going to give it a seal of quality. And as is, like the gameplay didn't change at all.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Okay, so let's jump right into this. So this is Dark Souls, right?
It's like shitty Dark Souls. This is a standard action role-playing game.
Yes.
Is what this is. And it's kind of like, imagine like a chubby Zelda wearing pajamas and shooting swords out of his dick, attempting to fight globes of water.
and also those slinkies from Marble Madness.
Yeah, fighting all the enemies from Marble Madness, both the marbles and the enemies, with swords out of your dick.
He looks like, yes, he does have Dick Daggers, which is the name.
Poor name.
Yeah, poor name. Yeah. But he looks like my childhood drawings of Cain.
In the game. Cain?
No, yes.
Like you fucking nerd.
No. Dragoon Cain from Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Okay.
He looks like that, right? He's got the horns on his shit.
Yeah, he's a little bit. He's a little plumper though.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of like a toddler. He's Toddlin Cain.
Toddlin Cain.
Yeah, there goes Toddlin Simon. So you look like a crappy Cain. Swords come, and they're like, you notice that, right? Like they're undeniably coming from your dick.
Yeah. I didn't want to dwell on it. I didn't want to hit too hard too fast because like that's the angry video game nerd kind of thing. It bears mentioning. I'm glad that you brought it up, but I'm not going to be like, dick swords with.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm tilting my head. I don't remember that angry video game nerd segment. I'm sure I've watched it at some point.
It seems like I don't know. I see this and all I can think of is Mylon's Secret Tower, which I think he did a review of. It's very similar, actually, at least in terms of the way that it navigates, if I remember right. But
how does this game navigate? Like it doesn't. I would end up inside this tower through no action of my own, like multiple times.
Yeah.
Like it's really weird. Like God help you if you can figure out anything that happens in this game.
There are invisible doors, but they are so invisible that it actually kind of feels like you're blackout drunk.
Yeah.
You're just time traveling and teleporting, you know? Yeah, it's real dumb. So this says something. I didn't care enough to do a map.
Oh yeah, that's true. that means something. I mean, I imagine like any map you did would probably, like I guess it probably is the same every time, but the relation in space, like when I would get teleported to one of those doors, there was no indicator where I'd come from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're often dropped into the middle of the room. In fact, when you leave through a door, like if you leave through the right side of the door, you come in, you exit it on that same side of the door. So yeah, there's almost no conservation of space, to the point where I would think like, okay, I am north of this and south of this. It's this weird House of Leaves-esque quality, where you can go in and then go up 3, turn right 1, turn right again, and you won't actually cross the path that you saw. Like you would think that you would intersect with yourself, but you don't.
It's a little bit like the mapping. If you ever want to drive yourself real crazy, start fucking around trying to make a map for Goonies 2.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever played that game? Like that's really confusing. That's kind of what this reminded me of a little bit.
Yeah. So you're sieging the house on Hill House. What?
Yeah.
You're sieging the Hill House. There we go.
Yep. There we are. So you walk around. So there are multiple things about this game that suck. One of the things is that there is no rhyme or reason or consistency to how many hits an enemy takes to kill.
Right.
So, like, some things you can kill in 2 or 3 shots, which should really be the maximum for things you're running into.
Right. Just
actually,
routinely.
I'm going to go as you should never, a standard enemy should never take more than 3 hits to kill. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're running into something that takes more than that, then you should come into it later with a more powerful weapon.
Yeah, exactly. It has to be some kind of gatekeeper, right?
Yeah.
Like that could be the situation if different things are weak to different things. I could see that, where it's like trying to figure something out. But as this stands, it's, yeah.
That's I'm gonna say that's true in like a role playing game too, like a standard enemy. Like if 3 of your guys attack like a random encounter enemy, it should probably die.
Right.
It just seems about right. Like pacing wise, this though has this weird thing where like some things take 3, some things take like 30, and the way that your rate of fire is measured is how many swords you have on the screen.
Right.
You have an unlimited rate of fire, but you can only have 1 sword on the screen at a time, which means that if something is distant from you, you shoot this really sluggish, slow-moving projectile every like second. If you're right next to it, though, you can just tappa, and just jam 1,000 dick swords right into his face, and like and stun lock them and kill them really fast.
Yep.
So that's a problem.
So, like, I could see that being a really misguided, intentional thing, where it's just kind of like, oh, if you want to defeat something quick, you have to get up close. That's part of the risk reward, right?
I guess, but that
like I said, misguided.
Argues with, I mean, it argues with the fact that oftentimes the screen is just so full of garbage.
Yeah.
That there's no getting around it, man. Like like you get your first screen, it's fine, and then you move a little bit to your left, and as soon as like the fireballs start coming up from off screen, like you're just kind of fucked at that point.
Yep.
And you get stun locked too.
You don't just get stun locked; you get knocked back like several tomba whiffs.
Yeah, totally. And you can get knocked off the ledge, which is instant death.
Right, which sends you back to the beginning. Or it can knock you back into a different room where something could just be waiting for you, and because there's no invincibility, you're just fucked.
Yeah. Man, invincibility after getting hit, like that seems like a real
basic.
Like that seems
just
again
implied.
Yeah, like that should be necessary.
Yeah.
If you're not going to have like a Dark Souls-esque like poise system, like you need something like that if you're going to stun. If an enemy's attack is going to stop you from doing something, I need to be able to be invincible, or I just need to be able to walk away from it.
Right.
Yeah. That's, I mean, man, in my Game Maker class, I learned how to do that. Like, if you didn't do that, like it would become evident, like because you'd walk up to something and it would instantly drain your health, and you're like, oh, I need to either shunt myself back from this. It's like one of the reasons, like Mega Man gets knocked back. One of the reasons why is like just to make the platforming trickier, but also so you're not immediately next to the hazard.
Right.
So like when your invincibility wears off, you're not immediately hit again.
Right.
Real 101. Kind of stuff.
So they didn't pay attention to that, but they paid enough attention to give you the ability to shoot diagonally.
Yeah. Yep. Which is real odd.
And in doing some research on this, apparently they're like you get movement upgrades. Like you find equipment, you can buy stuff in a vaguely Binding of Isaac kind of way. And like one of them is like you move faster when you're on diagonals.
One of the other things that's interesting too. So it's like there's a seed of like kind of I remember watching Dr. Sparkle play this on Crontendo. And one of the things that's interesting about it is that, like, when it came out, it was, when you watch that show, which I recommend everybody watch every episode of it because it's wonderful, you're learning about, like, trends in gaming history. So, like, you see, like, something come out, hit it big, and then you get to watch a couple of weeks later as, like, every company puts out one of these things. And this was, like, in the wake of, like, one of the first, like, RPGs. So, like, RPGs were really big. This kind of, Wizards and Warriors, Ultima Wizardry, stats kind of thing. So this came out, like, along with, like, Rygar and stuff like that. Item-based things. So I remember watching him play through it, and you get a lot of upgrades. Like, you get tons of stuff. But one thing I couldn't figure out that I noticed in my playthrough is, like, when you die, you don't lose everything. Because pretty close to the beginning, you can get a health upgrade. And then when I went back, it was still there.
Right.
So could I just, like, go get that, jump off the cliff, go get that, jump off the cliff, and just grind up health infinitely?
Yes.
Yeah, that's okay.
So that changes the score a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still stuff about this that's bullshit, but it
just turns into patience. It becomes like Final Fantasy 2, where you're just standing around a field punching your friends, or Final Fantasy Tactics 2.
Yeah, that would be the one I would say.
Yeah. It's real tedious, but you can grind in it, like, because there's no reason to kill bad guys, which, like, led me, I think, unless you get coins,
right,
and you get Captain America shields, and I don't know what those do, but the other than coins, there's really no reason to grind on bad guys. So I would try to avoid them, but then one of them would catch me and still knock me into another guy, and I'd die.
Yeah, that's what I would run into the most, which is enemies. I would run into enemies the most and get knocked into other enemies and die. And there are some narrow corridors where stuff is jumping up and down, vaguely iridescent balls of energy are jumping up and down.
Yeah. It says that in the Wikipedia it says it's a permanent power up.
Yeah.
Mechanic, which blurred the line between power-ups and experience points.
So here's the weird thing about this game, which is when you die, you get a password. It's another one of those weird ASCII, I believe, case-sensitive kind of things, pretty long. But it copies it for you, so when you go, you have continue. You have a continue button. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is merciful, I think.
Yeah, necessary. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Even though, do you ever reach a checkpoint so you don't start back at the beginning?
I don't believe that you do. No, I think it's just you pretty much have to figure out how to make the run to the boss.
Yeah,
but the goal of this is, so the reason it was called Hell's Bells is because there's an ancient evil that is threatening the kingdom, and you have to, you're a prince and you're going to take out his tower, blah blah blah. You're going after these 7 bells to, like, burn them down. I don't know. I would ring a bell. Yeah. I don't.
It's probably a Japanese thing.
Oh yeah,
like, not to be dismissive of another culture, but it's probably just a weird, like, a paper bell or something like that,
like wooden Shinto bells.
Yeah, something like that,
honoring their house spirits or whatever. Ugh.
Yeah, so a winda ghost of some kind. Yeah,
but I really hope people know I'm joking.
I we are both joking.
Please don't do kung fu on me. But. Like, that's not even funny.
Yeah, I don't know why that. Like, we say a lot of terrible things. I don't know why that got to me.
But man, I really want to love the component parts of this.
Yeah, I mean, so it's not like there aren't things to recommend it, and it has that. I didn't play it when I was young, even though it was like a bestseller. Like, this game was very successful because of that. Like, kind of just hitting
1985. Like it was selling against, like, weird arcade ports where you're shooting at clowns.
Well, but I mean, I'm just, like, in the end though, like, a lot of people had this in their homes, right? Is the point. Like, yes, there wasn't tons of software for it, but it was a big hit, and, like, I never ended up with my hands on it, but if I did, I probably would have forced my way through a lot of it. Yeah. Like Arista's Ring or, like, Castlevania 2 or any number of things like that.
Yeah. I would like to get a hold of the manual for this, because I wonder how much of, like, the weird NES-ery, like the incredibly vague stuff just happens and nothing explains what this item does or why,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. And hopefully a lot of that stuff got explained.
Yeah.
And it would maybe make it okay. Like, I agree with you about, their component parts.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're going into a crazy tower with monsters, and you're building up a character. I like that a lot. But
Me too.
yeah.
I'm gonna blow your mind here for a second, Cole.
Okay.
I was just kind of clicking around on Wikipedia. And we don't do show notes on this program, so everybody else, I'm just going to tell you what to Google. Or on the Wikipedia at the bottom, they linked this thing from vintagecomputing.com that says secret deadly tower maps revealed. Click on that and then scroll down to these like design document maps and tell me that it is not headache inducing as shit.
Okay, secret deadly tower.
Yeah.
Map.
VCNG exclusive, secret deadly towers maps revealed. Everyone Google it.
Yes, Google that right now as I Google it.
Yes.
Let me scroll. Oh, no.
Right?
Oh,
like, click on it. It gets
no.
huge. It is ridiculous. Like, this is like the most elaborate. Like, I have played a lot of D&D, and part of the joy of D&D as a dungeon master,
As a master of dungeons.
as somebody who has literally mastered dungeons.
As the caster of die.
As a dungeon mister, you want to make elaborate death traps in dungeons.
Uh-huh.
This is nauseating.
This is like something that if you were in prison,
Yeah.
if you like, so this is a thing that happens. My family's in corrections. I've seen some of the D&D maps that people in prison make. Like, imagine if you had no time. This is up there with that. It's up there with D&D prison maps.
If you have any of that stuff, you should hook me up with it. I would love to see that.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, that would be great. I would really appreciate that. I think that when I look at this, I think, what is this going to summon? Like, if all these pieces are in place, exactly what avatar of Nyarlathotep is this going to please? Because it's one of them.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way around it.
And they're all labeled with letters.
Yeah.
Is that the enemies that are in there? I don't see a
It's
V
how
for
you
the
spell out
vampire.
God's secret name, Cole. is by going through in the correct way.
Oh. That I can't look at that anymore. That is really it's not it's not even on a regular grid. It's just scrawled out like a crazy person. Like, I'd expect to see this like written in like black bile on a thin vellum scroll.
Yeah, this should be written in prostitute blood, and it's going to appease whoever is talking to Jack the Ripper in the night.
Right.
Like, did you get to did you fight a dragon in this?
Yes, that was a fun fight.
It's kind of, did you realize like the same mechanics that apply to the regular enemies apply to him, so you can just stun lock him?
Yeah, I did that.
I did the first fight. I was trying to dodge him like a chump. And like just kind of get in my pot shots, and then I was like, oh wait, he stops for a second every time I do this. If I just go up to him and jam on the button, like he won't get a chance to fight me.
Yeah, you just have to go up and honk on Bobo. Yeah.
If you honk his Bobo real good, then he does not make it.
I liked that I could be knocked off the back, like out of that. So like if I was trying to play dodgy, like it wasn't just a matter of losing. It wasn't just a matter of losing health. It was a matter of losing progress. There was something about that tickled my bone. But
yeah.
So
Difficult.
we're drawing up on time. This
Sadly
is a real. I don't know. Is this the earliest game that we've done?
Well, we did. What is it? Kid Cool. That was probably pretty early. That's similar graphics too.
Yeah.
It's about the earliest game. It's up there.
Right.
If it's not the earliest, it's like the second earliest or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like it's not like there's nothing to recommend this, but it has really, really obvious rough edges that needed to be shaved off.
Right. That even its peers had addressed.
Yeah, totally. Like this came out post Zelda, right?
I believe, or at least Zelda concurrent.
Yeah,
because it came out in America in '87, and so did Zelda.
Yeah. So December 15th, 86. We're looking at The Legend of Zelda video game. Came out in Japan February 86.
Right.
So considerably sooner.
Right.
Like, yeah, I got my where the year changes over confused for a second. But this came out I mean, I guess that could have been in development at the same time, but this needed to learn a lot of lessons.
No, this came out in Japan in '85.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it said 86.
No, that's what I believe. That's what Wikipedia said. I made a note of it because it seemed real early.
It says release date 86, December 15th, 86 on Wikipedia right now.
Okay.
Yeah. It looks like a 5. So this came out after Zelda. It should have learned a lot of lessons from it. It is a bad game.
Yeah.
But a couple of tantalizing little bits of things that would have entranced me as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah. So do you have an especially good GameFAQs review? Because most of the ones that I see, there are no standouts. I think the highest is a 5.
there's a 7, a guy who just says it's not. He's saying essentially the same kind of things we're saying.
Right.
Most of them are just like people trying to jump on angry video game nerd coattails and make fun of it and just kind of slam it. I would like to find the same thing I found for Home Improvement. I would like to find in this, like a sincere Let's Play. Somebody just trying to. I mean, I guess the Dr. Sparkle segment, the 10 minutes he spends on this is super sincere, and he's taking it its own value.
Yeah.
God, is that guy good? I want another episode of that real bad.
Oh, how long has it been?
A while.
Huh.
I think he put one out at the beginning of the year. So,
Okay.
and that's about standard for him. Like he takes his time.
Right.
But it makes sense because they're huge undertakings, and he beats all the games.
Oh, really?
So
wow.
yeah, he's he's at this point like he's beat every. I think the last episode had a Monster Party on it.
Oh, wow.
And he's beat every Nintendo game up to that point.
That is absurd.
Other than like sports games and like mahjong games.
Right.
But every game that can be beaten, he beats.
Yeah, Mahjong, of which there are a panoply of games.
Yeah, even though they fall out of favor.
Oh. Looking at the forums here, there's one that's "Hello" as the title, posted by Bob on April the 30th, 2010, and the only contents of the message body is "Here's crickets."
People do that. Have you ever thought about people doing like putting together drug deals and stuff using GameFAQs message boards on unpopular games?
No, I haven't thought about it, but it makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, like there are these weird there are these just dead message boards, or like when they found that Space Jam website and it hadn't been touched in like 15 years, like there's probably a message board on there, and just finding dead message boards online and using them to, do illicit things, or even just have secret conversations. Like what if me and you did like most of our planning for the show on the Deadly Towers
on the JeffBridges.com homepage, which actually has a forum.
Yeah, exactly, on JB.homepage.
The dude.
Yeah, on the dude. Well, I mean, I imagine that probably gets more play than this does.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But it's kind of a cool idea. Like, you can just kind of find secret corners of the internet,
Yeah, there's a short story on that, probably.
Yeah, or at least a cool detail for our short stories.
So, that was... I always want to say Mylon's. That was Deadly Towers.
Essentially Mylon's secret castle.
Yeah.
Justin, none given. Go fuck yourself.
But also thank you for listening.
And thank you for listening.
But also, why are you doing this to us?
Yes, also all of those things.
Yeah.
Appreciated. Please. And so we'll announce our next thing during the next WAF.
Yep.
Probably. And it's going to... I mean, maybe we'll do Wayne's World. We'll see.
Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows?
So, with that, we don't know how to end this show.
Yeah. Praise the sun.
Bye.
I'm just going to use that for everything because I don't... it's so perfect.
Do it.
We made fun of ourselves for that when we first started doing it. But, it's so good.
It is.
It's nice to have an ending.